of the evening. The 8th time Juan Archuleta has prepared for a 5-round fight. He's gone the full 25 3 times. 4th time for Patchy Mix. He's never been past the 3rd.
Set now to make his way to the cage, Patchy. No love mix.
Not only has he never been past the 3rd in those 5-round fights, he won 2 of them in the 1st, the other in the 2nd. Patchy, no love mix, 13-0. Never lost a single round. He is on an 8-fight finish streak. That's not winning streak, that is a 8-fight finish streak. Our keys to victory are brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. John on Nova.
Look at Patchy Mix is special, but he needs to be patient in this fight. Don't make mistakes trying to end it fast. Patience, 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 and use that submission arsenal that you have. You have finished your first 3 fights in Bellator with different submissions. You're good with a ton of submissions. Find the right time, the right place, use the right submission. You're gonna walk out with the belt.
Out of Jackson Wink MMA in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Patchy, no love mix.
And now, ready to make his way to the cage, Juan, the Spaniard, Archuleta.
24-2 as a professional, and Jen talked about it at the desk, Big John. He has not lost by submission in, I'll give it to you, 1,995 days, and you remember who did it to him.
Andres Ponce, and that was a triangle choke. And you learn from those mistakes and you move on, and that is what Juan Archuleta has done.
The only other setback was to Patricio Pitbull. They went the full 5 rounds. Juan Archuleta, a 4-weight class, 4-division champion and king of the cage. He says, Josh, he prefers 135. This is his favorite spot. So, what are his keys to victory? Of course, brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone.
Yeah, what he's gonna have to do is make sure he keeps his continuous movement. If he stops in front of Patchy Mix and makes the takedown easy, he's just doing his job for him. He needs to stay on his bike, but stick and move. He also needs to defend, defend, defend. John, you and I came up with that together. Defend, patience, defend, patience. What he needs to do is make sure he focuses more on defending the takedown and stopping that before causing damage.
Patchy said the 7 extra weeks of training is the worst thing that could happen to Juan Archuleta. He said he wanted to leave with the legacy as an undefeated fighter, and that kept him from performing tonight, the biggest fight of his life.
No doubt about it.
Our tail of the tape for this bantamweight championship battle. Juan Archuleta, 32 years old. Patchy Mix, 26 years old. He's got a little bit of a reach advantage.
A little bit of a reach advantage. You take a look at those records, that is telling you everything you need to know. Patchy Mix, 13-0 as a pro, 12-0 as an amateur. He's never been defeated in an MMA cage.
Juan Archuleta would love to change that right here, right now. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator MMA live on Paramount Network from Mohegan Sun Arena. The time has come for the main event of the evening. 5 5-minute rounds for the vacant Bellator Bantamweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation Chairman James Gessner, President of Sports and Entertainment Mr. Tom Cantone, supervising at cage side Brendan Kaliwa, and Director Mike Mazzulli. Now, First, introducing the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 135 pounds even, in his first Bellator world title fight, he enters as an undefeated professional, 13 victories with no defeats. By way of Albuquerque, New Mexico, he fights out of Angola, New York, presenting Patchy No Love Mix. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'7", weighing in 134.6 pounds. After his recent featherweight world title challenge, he's back at bantamweight and stands with 24 professional victories, just 2 losses. Fighting out of Hesperia, California, introducing Juan, the Spaniard Archuleta. In charge of the action, your referee, Jason Herzog.
Fighters gone over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, Blue. There were no final questions from you, Red. If you want to touch gloves,
baby, let's get it.
am I ready to fight?
All right, baby, let's get it. I like it. Both of these men are great competitors. 24 wins for Archuleta. As John said, 13-0 for Patchy Mix. One man will leave with that gold belt around their waist.
Buddy, you ready?
Fight! Here we go! Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Geico. Archuleta in the red gloves. The natural southpaw Patchy Mix in the blue gloves. He will switch his stance.
It's normal for Archuleta to use a lot of movement. He uses his feet, moves himself in and out. That is one of the things that makes him difficult to time and difficult to hit.
Not only that, but he switches his stance so much, and this is exactly what he didn't want to do, was overcommit on a strike, end up in this position like I talked about with the body lock.
That was actually a nice job of him getting his back to the fence from that position, since Patchy got that double underhooks with that body lock. That's a bad position. He can be elevated and brought down.
John, all the talking about we used to train together. One saying, yeah, I got the better of him. Juan admitting it, but guess what? We're going to see who's better now. And I'm so excited to see what's going to happen.
Do not grab.
Talk is talk. Doesn't matter. You got to make these things work in the cage. Doesn't matter what you can do in a training, man. I don't know how many times, I used to own my own gym. Guys would come in there, and some people that would work out with a professional fighter, oh, he's not that good. Really, you're not being punched in the face. There's a big difference.
Well, we just saw that with Neiman Gracie. Like, his style of jiu-jitsu is different than like a competition style where he's able to get off punch. Most top black belts that just train strictly for competition style, you hit them 1 or 2 times, they become white belts really fast.
Yep, it's true.
There you go. Flat anchor.
That didn't happen with Neiman, by the way.
Well, and what you just saw, there's a lot going on right here. And Patchy has worked for this takedown. He's had the ability to get it with those double underhooks. He's got Juan to his butt, but he's not been in a position to do anything with it, and Juan has got himself back up, and Patchy's now working to get him back down to the ground.
There it is. Beautiful. Step over, step over, step over. Keep them hips up.
Patchy trying to extend that leg.
Yes.
Juan with a nice crossface there to make sure he's pushing him off.
Body work.
Body shots missed with the uppercut on the exit.
But it was nice body shots on the exit.
Yes.
And you're taking a look at all of that work that Patchy did, and really, what did he achieve with it? That's the difference. He's got to make Juan pay in those positions.
And Archuleta just connected with the right hand.
Well, what Patchy needs to not do throughout this fight is put his head down and just wait for Juan to throw punches. He's waiting for Juan to get in within range so he could try to grab him. And he had his head straight down. That's not where you want to be with Juan Archuleta. We saw the knockout power and all the highlights rolling up to this.
Beautiful work. Good job.
Had the walkout knockouts in his career.
Yes, very good.
3 minutes into a potential 25-minute championship fight.
Overextended right into a mistake, and Patchy's taking advantage of it. Now he's on the back.
There we go.
Got to keep that chin tucked. There's that figure 4 body lock around the body waist that I talked about. This is where he does most of his work. He gets to the back or he gets to the arm in guillotine, and he just locks that figure 4 around, and guys have a hard time. And this also does not favor Juan because he can't roll to the right where he needs to try to unlock that.
You're exactly right. And one of the things that makes Patchy very dangerous is he doesn't just go for the neck. He will go for the arm from this position. He will go for things like leg locks, Suloev stretches. He's got a big arsenal when it comes to the submission game.
Archuleta fighting it off so far.
This is where he needs to be right here. I know he still has the figure 4 lock, but see how Juan has double wrist control, and he took the arm
And he
over
put it
the
to the
head.
offside.
That's exactly what he needs to do, but he needs to unlock that figure 4 first.
Well, at least now he's in a position where he can turn his body to the right, put that figure 4 with that foot to the ground, which will actually increase the space for him to turn within.
Also, too, Patchy thinks feels like he's in a good position. You guys are watching at home, but his neck being against the fence keeps him from being able to arch his hips into Juan's back if he was able to get to the choke.
That fight 5.5 years ago, in which Archuleta was submitted, he was, in Joe Daddy's words, blowing him up. Joe Daddy counted the elbows. He said there were 36. And Juan said he just made a mistake, and that's all it took. He cannot make a mistake against Patchy Mix.
What you guys need to pay attention to is how Patchy is switching his figure forward from side to side, and that comes from him having the long limbs to be able to do that. And that's just top jiu-jitsu skill right there.
Final 10 seconds of round 1 of our Bantamweight World Championship fight.
In the mount.
We're off to a good start from left bead, but right bead is cutting him off now. Left bead is making a bit of contact. Oh, we've got a double bead going for the inside line. The left bead into first place. Wow. Beautiful.
The first ingredient in this Cliff Bar is brown rice syrup, which is another name for sugar. In this Kind Bar, it's heart-healthy almonds with the taste of dark chocolate and 75% less sugar than the leading Cliff Bar. Be kind to yourself.
After being a part of millions of love stories, at K, we believe that nothing should get in the way of love. Shop your way, in-store or online. K Jewelers. Love is unstoppable.
911, what is your emergency? What is your emergency? What is your emergency?
The world has to find out about this.
What is your emergency?
Antebellum Rated R, Friday on Apple TV.
This one is all about Bellator gold. In the corner of Juan Archuleta, TJ Dillashaw said, you're lunging. You're lunging, and you guys alluded to it. That's how Patchy Mix put him in a little bit of danger there.
Josh alluded to that. I want to make sure that's clear. It was good, though. TJ pointed it out.
A little nonverbal going on between John and Josh.
But what's going to happen in this is Juan has made it very clear that he knows that in the first round, maybe even 2, that Patchy will be there.
Sure.
He needs to avoid the submission and making big mistakes. I think his corner has just talked him through that. I think as the fight goes on, we're going to see Patchy start to slow down a little bit and not be able to use as much strength.
And Juan talked about that, taking him into the deep waters where Patchy hasn't been before. We're not there yet, though.
Needs to be careful of that inverted triangle.
Round 2.
What he needs to do, Juan needs to open up that right elbow, and that'll help clear the unlocking of it.
He's done it.
There you go.
All right, I need you to post it on there. Push him back on.
So he'll do is he'll take one of his arms and reach back around his hips and try and spin it in between his legs so he can take his back. But while doing that, he's got to be careful that Patchy doesn't roll underneath and try to attack a knee bar.
Well, he could roll for it. Right now, he's not in a position he's going to be able to roll for that leg based upon where his head's at and where those legs are at. Patchy needs to figure out there comes a point where I need to get myself out of the position I'm in because it's not going to work for me. But right now, he's into that reverse guard position where there are leg locks available. There's a lot of things that he can try to do.
No, but what I'm talking about is when Juan goes to sit up and reach around, he'll stand a little bit, and that'll open up the legs a tiny bit.
Yes. Come on, let's go.
Patchy Mix, Jackson Wink MMA. They've had a lot of gold and a lot of champions come out of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What you're watching here is a chess match.
Yes, I was going to say, we've got kinetic chess going on right now, Josh.
So Juan's trying to avoid standing up because he doesn't want him to come underneath and try to attack the knee bar or some sort of leg lock that we've seen earlier tonight.
Tiki and, as I mentioned, TJ Dillashaw in the corner of Archuleta. Of course, Greg Jackson, Mike Winklejohn, the leaders in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Brandon Gibson. Good transition.
Great job by Patchy to move himself into taking Juan's back.
There we go.
Back to that figure four, John.
Well, he's great with the figure four. He controls the body so well with the figure four, and he always takes that foot that he's locking it down with, and you'll see him bring it inside of the legs to hold on, outside of the leg. He's very long when we're talking about the inseam and his ability to wrap that leg around a guy that's only 135 pounds. Oh, he's got a lot of space.
Mike Goldberg, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy, Jen Brown, Chael Sonnen. This is round 2 of our main event for the Bantamweight World Championship. Juan Archuleta and Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix 13-0. Juan Archuleta 24-2. Patchy Mix looking for another submission finish.
Beautiful job with the switch of that figure four. Notice that the figure four is always with the foot up.
Yeah, good side, right?
That makes it very tough to get out of it. Patchy is great at switching that thing when he needs to make sure that he has the ability to create the pressure to hold on to it.
This is not where I want to see Juan, though, because right now Patchy can choke him from both sides. He needs to pick a side, like I continue to say, because then you only have to worry about defending one side. There you go, Juan. Now he's got to be careful. You got to watch out for that triangle right off the bat.
Juan needs to take away that left arm.
Good knee.
That was a great knee.
Prepared for this. Catch his wrist. Catch his wrist.
Trying to break him down, which is what Juan Archuleta told us is his strategy.
Well, Juan Archuleta has been going to the body even when this round started. Look at all the body shots that he was landing, and he's continued to do that when he's had the ability to actually land a strike. He's going after that body, and there's a reason. He believes going into deep waters, he's going to be able to get Patchy tired and get him.
There was that arm and guillotine he jumped to, and then he went right to his next transition. That's the problem with dealing with guys that are really good at jiu-jitsu is they have a sequence that they use, and they use it every single day against guys they train with every single day. And if it works on them, it pretty much will work on your opponent.
Archuleta doing a nice job, and he's going to finish strong here in round 2. Heavy ground and pound.
Couple shots to the back of the head there, John.
Just missed with that hammer fist. 15 submissions as an amateur, 9 submissions as a professional. We're going to head to round number 3 of our title fight.
Simple Mobile knows people want simple, especially now. Right? Well, how's this for simple? Unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a month. On a powerful nationwide 5G network with no contract, no activation fees, and no credit checks. That's simple. Unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a month. And you know what else is simple? Signing up. Just visit simplemobile.com 24/7 to get your service. Simple Mobile, out with the old, in with the simple.
Hey, guess what, guys? We're moving!
That's right. Bellator MMA has officially joined the CBS Sports Network family. Bellator and their stable of world-class fighters proudly debuts on CBS Sports Network Thursday, October 1st.
It's gonna be huge.
Championship mentality tells you that I do not have to win this fight in the first, second, third round. I get 5 rounds. Watch these body shots. This is what Juan Archuleta's plan is. If I take that body and I put holes in that gas tank, when it comes to the 4th and 5th round, that's when you're going to see me take him out.
But it's 2-love Patchy Mix, John, right?
In my mind, I've got Patchy Mix up 2-love.
Josh?
I have a 2-love as well, but look at right now. Patchy looks like he's slowing down quite a bit. The push kick to the thigh, the punches and the combinations are coming out a little bit slower and labored.
Beautiful.
Patchy Mix 13-0. 9-0, 9 wins by submission. 3 times he's gone 15 minutes.
Look at every time you're watching Juan Archuleta come in and land shots, he is at least landing a body shot. There he goes again, body shot, body shot. Those body shots are going to add up. That's like putting money in the bank.
Archuleta, of course, doing his strength and conditioning with Sam Calavita. And again, you can see the strategy for Archuleta.
I have to agree. I feel like Juan looks phenomenal at this weight class. He's handling the reach, the range, the size of Patchy Mix. You guys don't know, Patchy Mix is a very big 135-pounder.
All the way, start all the way. Snap it.
Round 3 of our championship fight.
When we talk about, fight IQ and getting a fighter to understand, hey, you don't have to win this thing right away. You don't have to win it in the first round. You don't have to win it in the second round. You have 25 minutes to win this fight. That's the difference that you're seeing right now in these 2 individuals. Juan Archuleta is looking to take this thing into deep waters. Patchy Mix is looking to end this fight at any moment that he can with a submission.
And every moment that it goes by, they get sweatier, things get harder, your muscles get more tired, your grip gets looser, all those things happen.
Juan Archuleta is ripping that body.
In fights scheduled for 25 minutes, as I mentioned earlier, the 3 fights, all wins by submission for Patchy. 2 in the first, 1 in the third.
The fight with Patricio Pitbull was a big learning experience for him. And as we're looking at the striking stats here, you can see, I mean, you've got Juan Archuleta picking him apart. But John, nothing extremely hard has landed. The body shots have landed, and and even though they don't sound hard, they are hard, and they do hurt, and they do start paying dividends in the later rounds.
They just affect your breathing pattern. You get hit to the body, and so then you go to take that breath, and it's not quite the same. Your diaphragm's not working the same. You don't get that full breath of air.
Yeah, there we go.
That one hurt.
But I talked about my keys to victory, and part of it was that Juan Archuleta needed to stay on his bike, and that's exactly what he's doing now. He's on his bike, picking and choosing his shots, not giving Patchy Mix a target to shoot on.
You're pushing it back.
Archuleta said of that fight against Patricio Pitbull that he didn't find his groove until the 3rd round, and that in the end he beat himself mentally. Right now he's finding his groove in the 3rd again.
Not a lot of guys find their groove against Patricio Pitbull. Let's just be honest.
Not a lot of guys go 25 minutes with Patricio Pitbull either.
But Juan's finding his mark, whether it's to the body or to the head against Patchy Mix. And Patchy's kind of just standing in the range, but he hasn't looked like he's committed to a takedown just yet.
90 seconds remaining in round 3. Much different looking round than the first 2, to say the least.
But we've seen that Juan can do this for 5 rounds. He can stick and move. And he'll mix in the wrestling as well, which will make Patchy even more tired because he'll be able to ankle pick like John was pointing out in his telestrator. That's your sketch.
Why is my sketch?
Nice body shot there in a row.
He's throwing those body shots from the canvas.
And see, and a big part of what you're seeing right now, a lot of people are seeing Patchy Mix being aggressive, coming with pressure, and they're like, well, he's the one that's coming forward. Juan Archuleta is the one that's landing the better shots in this round. It does not matter who is going forward. It matters who is landing the cleaner shots. And that is right now in this round, it's Juan Archuleta.
Oh, big right hand.
Nice left hand over the top.
Outstanding striking here in round 3 for the Spaniard.
See a little bit of that frustration on Patchy Mix's face.
Yes, we do. We have got ourselves a fight.
And that is never good, John.
Nope. 10 seconds. We will head to the championship round.
Hey, man. Boy, huh? You're supposed to be here. Drink plenty of water, okay?
Yeah, drink a lot of water.
Catch your breath.
Great round. Amazing job.
Staying in possession.
Take a look at the body shots here. Every time that he came in, body shot, he's doing everything he can to attack that body as much as possible. Here comes a big right hand. You see the straight, right into the chin, comes down. Big left hand off of this one right here, over the top, right to the side of the temple. Not a ton of power on it, but a clean shot. And you see that Mix misses his off of it. In that round, very clear that Archuleta had the better strike.
John, you talked about patience, and this is what Juan's doing right now. He touched him with the right hand, was patient with it, didn't try to rush anything. Touched him with the left hook, patience.
Stay back. Fourth round, fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready?
Fight! Championship rounds. This is a first for Patchy Mix. He has never been in a round number 4. Archuleta has gone 25 minutes 3 times in his career. He's 2-1. That one was Patricio. He also has a 4th round finish by knockout on his ledger. And he got round 3. So it's now 2-1 Patchy.
At least on our unofficial.
Correct. From the big brain to Big John.
What I'm getting a little concerned about is that Patchy's not even trying to get the takedown. So he's not in range. He's got to use that push kick to make Juan have something to get past. Because right now Juan's just picking him apart, stepping in and out whenever he would like. But there's no takedown attempts right now. I feel like Patchy's slowed down and trying to get those takedown attempts.
Well, as we talked about in those keys to victory, and you brought up one of my things was patience, patience, patience. Because when you're a young fighter and everything you've done in all your fights has worked, it's been successful. How are you going to deal with your opponent when everything you're doing is not successful? You've got to remain still patient and take your time and don't get frustrated. And I think we're seeing a little bit of frustration sometimes out of Patchy Mix.
And Juan Archuleta said, and I quote, looking for him to slow down in the 4th and the 5th, and he connects with a jab.
What Juan did there a second ago was he hit him with the jab, and then he drugged the right hook across the body of Patchy and hit him to the body. Very nicely done.
It's the level changes in his stand-up that's, I believe, is giving Patchy some problems. Patchy's very tall for a bantamweight, and sometimes when you have a guy, you're used to punching down a little bit, but when a guy's really bending down at the waist and digging shots, it's not an easy thing to counter.
I want to see more of that. If you're going to stay on your feet, let Juan come to you and then push kick him, because you know if Juan overcommits like he did in the first round, the takedown becomes a little easier to get.
And the big part is if you want this fight to go to the ground, so utilize those kicks. Let him try to catch the kick. Let him go for the takedown. Let's get to the ground like he is right now. This is where you want to be.
I got to tell you, I didn't like that. Only the fact that
I was waiting for one of you guys to say it. I was waiting for one of you guys to say it, but he's out.
Watch the head. Watch the head. Time. No. Time. Time. Right here. Right here.
Let's watch it on the replay.
How are we doing here? Yeah.
So that blocked it.
You blocked it? Yeah.
It's because I blocked it.
Right here. No coaching. No coaching. You're good? Yeah.
No, 1 minute.
That would have, even if it wasn't blocked, it would have been to the chest, right, John?
That is a kick that is legal.
All right.
It's a legal kick.
To me,
he can kick him to the body. He can kick him to the arms. That is a legal kick. Patchy Mix got a break that he did not deserve off of that.
But was it his fault?
No, not at all.
Archuleta right away said, no, who's the body? Who's the body? It was. The fight continues. And Juan Archuleta continues to pick Patchy Mix apart.
It is very tough to be in there and see things at real speed and catch everything because your eyes have to be on that spot. But a fighter who is grounded is allowed to be kicked to the body or kneed to the body by his opponent.
I like what Patchy's doing right now. He threw a couple head kicks or up by the head a little bit, and it's actually changed a little bit of what Juan was doing.
So again, round 4, like the last round, a Juan Archuleta type round. after Patchy looked for an early finish in the first 10 minutes
and this is one
of this fight.
When you're Patchy mixed, sometimes you get the feeling like you're winning the round because I'm going forward, I'm being the aggressor. That is not getting you this round. It's who's landing the cleaner blows, because if the judges can see who is landing cleaner blows, they don't go to aggressiveness and they don't go to cage control.
Damage.
Number one.
Patchy's also very young, John, and I think a little bit of that is also this is going to be a learning experience for him. He's still in this fight. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
He's just got, I think you can tell the frustration because he's talking to him, he's raising his arm, he's changing things up. He's not staying clean with everything he's doing.
I didn't see it. And championship experience is certainly on the side of Juan Archuleta.
But now he's chasing after him aimlessly, like just, this is what he needs to do, but he needs to do it a little bit more composed. See how he's chasing him and not cutting the cage off.
There's a difference between cutting the cage and chasing your opponent. And you want to make it to where you're forcing your opponent where you're going to go.
Archuleta's footwork is awesome tonight. Fun to watch. But when you train with guys like Cub Swanson, TJ Dillashaw, Lance Palmer, Sayadawad, you move a lot. You know? He credits Cub for a lot of his early success and learning about the fight game in and out of the cage. Oh, great combination.
You're right here. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Right here. Take your time right here. I didn't see it.
He got poked in the eye.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Takedown, okay? Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, there was a moment somewhere in there, about a minute and 10, where you saw an exchange, and Juan said that he got poked in the eye. The referee did not see it.
Disrupt his rhythm. Use that jab. He does not have me.
And you can see that he did get poked in the eye.
It was a poke. Hey, just stay on with that jab. That jab's smart. High, low with that jab, right?
Halfway through the
John, how do you have it? 2-2?
Right now, I have this fight dead even, 2-2. Whoever gets the 5th round gets the belt.
Hey, let's go.
That's what we did. Yeah. This round is
Stay back right there.
Tommy James, TJ Dillashaw. Juan Archuleta, Patchy mix. 5 minutes remain. The winner becomes the Bellator Bantamweight World Champion.
One thing you really have to be impressed with, Josh, that we talked about, how was Patchy Mix going to do if this fight got into deep waters, into that 5th round? And you can see that his conditioning is on point because he's taken a lot of body shots, he's put out a lot of energy, and he is still coming.
On that unofficial scorecard, if this fight does go the distance, the winner of this round will walk away with the gold.
You can tell those body shots hurt because Patchy took his half step back. Kind of gave him a smirk like those didn't hurt, which meant they hurt.
He's continuing to pour it on.
Too. You can see he's starting to suck air. You see he's trying to grab air because he cannot get his body to breathe in normal fashion. That makes his takedown attempt not as effective. Body shots are horrible.
Oh, my goodness. It's almost, John, like his precision is precise. Almost.
Did you just say that?
Well, I did, but I was kidding that time.
I know.
John, we
look at the numbers.
Very impressive by Juan Archuleta, and he's just picking them apart right now to the body. But you talked about what was impressive by Patchy, him getting into the 5th round, still looking good, still the conditioning's still there, taking all these body shots. What I'm most impressed with, though, is by Juan Archuleta.
Of course.
Sticking to his game plan, though.
Yes.
Not letting the trash talk get to him, not letting all the hype and all these other things get to him. He has stayed on course the whole time.
He had a plan. He stuck with the plan. Look at where it's got him so far.
He's a 4-division champion, looking for the biggest belt of his professional career.
Watch your blows.
He has been in the pressure cooker, if you will, of title fights many times. A first time to the 5th, a first time to the 4th for Patchy Mix. Archuleta continues to strike dynamically.
big right, like little uppercut hook that he landed coming out of that turn. What Juan's doing really well here is
left hook to the body.
Stepping his foot on the outside of Patchy's lead leg and ripping that body, going to the inside on the right side on the right hook and going to the outside on the left hook.
Busting him up inside. Again.
So now he knows Patchy's going to cover up with his elbows. Now he's coming up top to the head. He's just beautifully picking this fight apart right now.
Past the midway point of the 5th and final round.
Straight hand by Patchy.
Of this bantamweight title fight. Archuleta in the red, Patchy Mix in the blue. John has it tied at 2, so does Josh, with just over 2 remaining.
This is still anyone's fight. I know Juan's winning the first half of this fight, but if Patchy does a couple nice shots, able to do anything, there you go right there. Nice head kick. Patchy coming forward, but he's got to throw.
Patchy needs to get a takedown here that would really help him in solidifying this round if he could get on top.
Ears, fighter, ear.
Time's ticking, John.
Time is ticking, but if you're Juan Archuleta, you can look and say, well, right now what I'm doing is I'm working towards getting a little bit of a breather so I can go into this last minute and a half and just put it all out.
Watch the back of the head. Keep on working, guys.
So, you know, you can look at, you can say, well, Patchy's throwing punches. Those are not punches. That's more irritation than anything. We're looking for damage.
Well, technically they are punches, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
They're technically.
You're not grab the cage.
Just grab the cage. That kept him up.
So Patchy needs a little sense of urgency with 1 minute left. He needs to at least threaten some sort of submission here to start thinking that maybe that he gets close, start skewing the judges towards the end of the round.
Archuleta has not slowed down at all.
Well, I would agree one thing with Josh right here is Juan Archuleta has now got the double underhooks. Do something with it or get yourself out and go back to what was making you successful.
Final minute of the fight.
Juan's got to make sure he keeps his head up high because you saw earlier Patchy jumped on that arm and guillotine right away.
Nice elbow.
Very nice elbow on the exit.
Final 30 seconds. Who will be the new champion? Spin and a miss.
I need more.
15 seconds.
Little clash of heads.
Nice knee up the middle. Juan ripping the body.
Yep.
They go the distance. Juan Archuleta and Patchy Mix.
It's okay. Give me a sec. Hold on, man. You're good. Give him a moment.
Spectacular fight.
Great fight.
Great fight. Great fight by both guys. A lot to be learned in that fight. They both showed that they were in supreme condition. 5 minutes, all out. Got to be impressed.
I'll give my hat.
It lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
There was a lot of hype coming into this fight. It lived up to the hype.
The game plan that you could see that Juan Archuleta had, his ability to stick to it is the difference in this fight.
And it was the survival mode that he was able to put forth early because Patchy Mix was looking for yet another finish.
Well, this is where he was surviving because Patchy was getting that back and he was doing good work. He was getting that body triangle. He was controlling a lot of the action, winning the first couple of rounds the way we looked at it. But it was the game plan of Archuleta and these body shots that he was ripping. Coming in, nice shot up high, going to the body, always making him pay to the body. That was the difference in the fight, in my opinion.
Take a look at the final numbers after 25 minutes of fighting inside the Bellator cage. 105 punches landed, 1 takedown each, the 4 submission attempts. Juan Archuleta, Patchy Mix. Now wait for the judges to render their decision. Just Pretty much, Josh, what Juan Archuleta said he wanted to do. Get him into the deep waters and see what happens from here.
But it was dangerous for the first couple.
No question. But I think Juan knew that was going to be the case.
Yeah, he did. But the fact that he was able to survive for those 2 rounds was very impressive. And it wasn't so much that he survived. He had to survive in some very, very crap situations.
No question.
Back take and mount, all these situations. I was like, wow, I was very impressed with Juan Archuleta tonight.
2 spectacular bantamweights.
This will be the first time we'll see Juan fight maybe 2 fights in one weight class.
Yeah, very true. Finally. Just his second fight at 135 in the Bellator cage, but the biggest fight of his career. Will it be the Spaniard or no love? Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone a full 5 rounds, we go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, David Torelli, scores the fight 49-46. While judges Brian Miner and Doug Crosby both see the fight the same, 48-47. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator Bantamweight World Champion, Juan the Spaniard Archuleta.
Juan Archuleta is the Bellator Bantamweight World Champion. Thank you to both men for a spectacular championship fight.
1 second.
Here's Big John with the new champ.
Come here. Hold on.
Juan Archuleta, cartwheels, backflips. Simple first question, baby. How does it feel?
Oh my God. My family, John, they deserve this. My teammates, they deserve this, man. My country, Spain, where my ancestors come from, the fighting Spanish, the conquistadors, they deserve this. They have fighting spirit. It shows in me. Viva el Palayo, Covadonga. The Reconquista is here, baby. Spain, I'm coming and putting this at the feet of the king and queen.
Well, I can tell you,
glory to God.
You deserved it. You put on an outstanding performance. Let's talk about your game plan, because it was obvious that you knew what he could do on the ground and how he was very dangerous at the beginning of the fight. You started attacking the body viciously throughout the fight. Was that your game plan?
You know what? After I lost my pit bull fight, I was so devastated. There was one man that pulled me out of the trenches, and I owe this to him. Cub Swanson. He showed me how to battle through adversity, how to fight someone that was an undefeated jiu-jitsu fighter, stick to a game plan, and it was similar with him and Kron. He said, I promise you, you fight like that, you're walking home with the title. And guess what, Big John? I'm walking home with the title.
It's all yours, baby. Congratulations on an incredible performance.
Thank you.
The new Bantamweight Bellator champion. Back to you, Goldie.
All right, guys, we're going to my house, cooking on the Traeger grill. My family, I love you. It's my birthday. Best birthday present I could give myself. Thank you, Scott Coker. Thank you, Kogan. Thank you, Big John. Bellator, VACANT. You guys honestly made this happen through the pandemic. Thank you. All the fighters that stepped up to fight and put their family at risk. You guys did a hell of a job. Good job, guys.
That's a heck of a way to celebrate your birthday, Josh.
Always a class act.
Yes.
Amazing. I'm so happy for him, and he deserves it. He learned his lesson with the Patricio fight, and guess what? Now he's a world champion in 135.
And he talked about the man that I mentioned earlier, Cub Swanson, being such a key to him leaving tonight as the new Bellator Bantamweight World Champion. Bellator moves to CBS Sports Network with an